Hello, everybody out there in TikTok land, Facebook world, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere this is going to go. Today's title, and oh, by the way, I'm Monty Anderson with 412 Productions, The Art of Monty Anderson, where we talk artwork, we talk movies, we talk real life, we talk everything but a couple of topics. We don't talk about politics and we don't talk about religion. So, welcome to the show. Again, I'm Monty Anderson with 412 Productions, where we talk comic books, movies, just fun stuff. We like to have fun here. We love to have some fun. But welcome. I appreciate everybody stopping in, checking out the channel. And today's title is The Days We Live In, the times we live in. Let's just go back, say, 30 years even. Some of you weren't even born then. Like 30 years? I wasn't even a twinkle in my daddy's eye. 30 years ago, technologies and things like that were starting to take off good. But we didn't have the technology that we do today, where everything gets recorded, everything gets documented, everything gets seen, found, or whatever by anybody out there on the interweb. And the only way you had to get your story out was either some kind of publication or calling your friends on the phone. You actually called people on the phone? Oh my gosh. Yes, we called people on the phone on a regular basis. We used to send mail, not emails, but actual physical handheld letters that you had to read. So hopefully you could read. I'm not dogging anybody that can't read because I know that I had dyslexia when I was growing up. So words didn't jive with me. They uh, they were all jumbled up and backwards. So, um, but you had to take somebody's word for what story they gave you, no matter what it was. Like someone could be telling you that, man, I just climbed the Eiffel Tower, you know, and you're like, cool. But then you're thinking in the back of your head, did they really climb the Eiffel Tower? Or is this just some BS that they're feeding me right now? Is my mic on? My mic on? Okay. Just making sure my mic's on. Last time it kept cutting in and out. So, today's times, everything is recorded, everything is black and white for it, because unless it's edited funky, and then you have to go find the original video and watch the whole thing yourself. Just like on TikTok, just like on Facebook Reels, or even Facebook regular posts, you have to take the information that is given to you and do your research on it. Good morning, Mr. Roy. Joe Bradley in the house. Welcome to the show, buddy. I'm glad you're awake finally. Did you sleep all day again? I'm busting your balls, buddy. Um, but today's society and today's time, everything is recorded. I saw a Facebook post that someone made, and everybody had a good point as well. That said, apparently there was a car wreck in a local town. I am running a little late, but it's still right around my same time, the 4:30ish time frame. I know it's a little bit later than that, but it was in the local town of Greenwood, and I was on one of the Facebook forums, and someone posted, you know, why is it that when everybody sees a car crash, instead of calling the police or calling for help or going to see if those people need help, everybody someone made a point like, well, what are you doing? Because here you are reporting it on a Facebook forum instead of calling the police yourself or going to see if they need help. So, you know, it's like, well, you got a good point. She didn't have to post on Facebook. She could have helped or called police or emergency services and then posted, hey, I just witnessed a wreck. I went over there and see if everybody was okay, and then I called, for help. But every today's society is very very quick to jump on their cell phones and record a problem being that they're seeing in front of them instead of helping out in the situation. Back in my day, if we saw someone getting their ass kicked in a fight, we would try to break it up or, at least try to help. That's just our generation. Unless it was the schoolyard fight that, was going to happen, and then you just circled around it and you didn't let it get too out of hand. Um, I can remember one fight in school. It wasn't with me. Nobody ever fought me in school for whatever reason. I was a scrawny kid, but I still didn't get picked on as much as you would think being a redhead. I had the name callings and stuff like that, and I always had to put people in their place. Carrot Top. Well, not technically. If you want to get technical, Carrot's top is green. And do you see green on my head? They go away a little confused. And so, um, but one fight was with was two. We were in middle school at the time, and one dude was big. He wasn't a big dude. He wasn't physically huge or anything like that. He was just tall, and the other kid was normal size, if you will, for kids. And Vince and Casey was the name of the kids, and I'm not using fake names to protect the innocent. This isn't the Law and Order show, but they got into it, and we knew that they were going to get into it. They'd been beefing all day long, and so we put a buffer around them so that other people couldn't get in there, and we let them duke it out. And it got to the point where Vince started bashing Casey's head on the ground, so we stepped in and stopped it because you're not going to kill the kid, um, like a lot of people would just let happen, curb stomping and stuff like that. So we stepped in, and that's when we stepped in as kids to break up the fight because it had gone too far. You'd already beat him. You don't have to bash his head on the ground. And so about that time, as we're breaking up the fight, also here comes some teachers, and so they end up grabbing up Vince and taking him to the office. And of course, the police show up because he was bashing his head on the ground. But um, but that's how fights used to be handled. You would have your one on ones. Now you don't have that anymore. In today's society, you've got like 10-on-1, you know, and it's no fair fights, and it's just kind of crazy to see that. But yet now, whenever you've got those 10-on-1 fights that are completely unfair, you've got everybody else that's involved as well, just sitting there recording it. You've got nobody trying to help out. You've got nobody trying to break up a fight like back in the day. And it's just like that is society today. People just want to get internet famous as quickly as possible. And that's the way to do it. Look how I got internet famous. Look, I got 20 million views on my fight video. But did I help out? No. I just videoed it. But I knew who did. I knew who was in the fight because I was on the side of the 10-on-1. And don't be that person. Don't be that person. Help out. Help somebody out. Be a kind human being. This world needs a little bit more kindness involved. And that's why I do what I do. I do artwork to make people smile. Just because if my piece, no matter what it is, be it a horror piece or a comic book piece or something just totally random, like Grim Reapers or uh, Death Destruction or whatever it is, and it brings a smile to your face, I'm doing my job. I'm helping be that kind person. Um, but I'm not always kind, and I know that. I have my moments, just like we all do. I get angry at the drop of a hat. My PTSD from being in the military and dropped as a on my head as a child uh, doesn't help. Um, and I know that, and I know I can fly off the handle pretty easy, pretty quick. But you know, and let's segue into that. If you are having issues out there, thoughts of suicide, anything like that, call 988, which is the suicide prevention hotline, or hit me up in my DMs. We will talk. I've had several people go out with suicide, and then I've also had a lot of people that just have a lot of depression, anxiety, and things like that. I get a lot of people that talk to me on a regular basis. Um, when I at the job that I used to work at, I was basically the work counselor. Everybody with problems would come to me and talk, no matter what the problem was: work problems, home problems, personal problems. I was the brunt of everything. So I had my little notepad. I laid them down on the little um, Big Joe chair at Walmart and said, "Okay, now let's talk about your childhood." No, I'm just kidding. No, but I would listen. I would listen to their problems, um, and that's why I guess people did come to me, because I'm a good listener, and I didn't try to interject, my personal thoughts into it unless they asked for it. Most people just want to be heard. And if we can be a platform for somebody that can change their life, be that platform. Um, because you don't want to be the reason that someone, took their own life because we didn't give them the time of day. It could be someone at work. It could be a family member. It could be, any person that you meet in society, be it a someone at the mall, someone in a grocery store. It People are drawn to people that they think can help. So if some random walks up to you and starts giving you their life story, don't roll your eyes at them and be like, "Why is this motherfucker talking to me?" You know, listen to that person, because there could be a big issue or problem that they're trying to relay, or they could be in trouble. They could be a kidnap victim, and the person they're that kidnapped them lost sight of them in the store or something. Because things like that happen all the time. I'm also seeing a bunch of stuff from a bunch of the forums on Facebook where uh, people are warning their other parents about these predators that are hitting up or trying to offer children rides, and it's like, yeah, we see this all the time. Children go missing, teens go missing, um, that type of things, and then they're found later, just like uh, the Petite story or whatever it's called. I can't remember what her name is right off the top of my head. We watched that whole mini series, and there was a lot of warning signs going on. But like they said too, the police were laughing and joking with the male abuser and didn't take her seriously over the whole situation, because in their eyes she was the aggressor. She started the whole thing, and there's telltale signs. There's telltale signs of narcissists. There's telltale signs of abusers. Um, just be on the lookout for different signs, because you could be that person that saved somebody else's life, and don't be that person that's recording what's happening. even though that's today's society. All right, that's enough of that. All right, so artwork going on, all kinds of cool stuff. The voice acting is going well. I've got to get him the rest of the uh, voiceovers. Hold on, guys. This over here. Getting that computer going. It had to restart. It had to restart. Um, the voice acting gig's going good. I got to get him the rest of the. Sorry about that. If you heard that, I've got to get him the rest of the voices for the different pages that I did record for him. They are doing a lot of exciting things. They're getting their artwork together. They are getting all of their props and things like that together. Some very cool looking stuff that they're getting for this Power Ranger film. Yes, I'm doing a voice for a Power Ranger fan film, and it's very cool. I'm looking forward to it. Um, it'll be my first voice actor gig, and so that's exciting. I've done some acting in the past, and I'm looking forward to this one just because that is a whole new role, but you're still doing a lot of acting with it. Just because you still have to act the part, you still have to act like you're being filmed for the movie, and that's why you see a lot of voice actors. You know, they're standing in their standing position so that they can get their dialogue with their motions and things like that. And now I was sitting whenever I was doing my voices, but I was still in the moment. I was still in that role of the character champ, and you influx your voice, you do different things with your voice, and you just create and become that character. Even though you're not portraying that character in physical form, you know. And this green screen, my hair in this green screen ain't jiving. I need to go put a hat on. If I had one in here, I'd just throw it on, but I don't. So, what are you all doing today? What are you guys going to be doing today? After I get done with some artwork, and right around 7:30 ish, I will be doing feed for the aminals. Yes, I have aminals. They are cute little aminals. We've got baby chicks right now. We've got teenage chicks. We've got adult chicks. We've got or chickens. We've got baby goats and their parents, Finn and Flora. Leon and Ryder are the boys' names because they both are boys. And then we've got two ducks. And I am clearing out the back 50 of my property. Just about killed myself with the honey locust tree. If you know what a honey locust tree is, you will completely understand. My back looks like I've gone through 2 rounds with a bobcat. Um, honey locust tree is a nice little angry tree that has thorns and spikes on it. The spikes can be anywhere between half an inch long to 2 inches long, sticking off this tree and off its branches. It is not a kind tree, period. It's got some great looking uh, meat on the inside of the tree, and it's a very beautiful honey color on the inside, and but it's just a very detrimental tree if you grab hold of it or walk through it or anything like that. It's not as bad as a briar bush or a thorn bush or even a thorn vine, but it can still cause just as much damage or worse because it's got bigger thorns to it. So if you're pushed into that tree or fall into that tree, it's going to cause some damage. So I'm getting those off my property. Even though they're an invasive tree, I'm going to have to keep trimming and cutting and rooting and all that stuff, trying to find all the roots that are running off of it. But it's going to be fun later on. But right now, the property is looking and taking shape, and um, it is coming along quite nicely. It's just a lot of work because, like I talked about, there's just a ton of trash out in there that they threw over the fence, thinking that I'm assuming they were thinking that it's not their problem, that it's going to be somebody else's problem later on down the line. But once I reclaimed that back 50 feet of lost space where the original surveyor mark was back there, it's like, well, shit, this becomes my problem now, and I'm cleaning up somebody else's shit, and that seems to be society's take, where we're always cleaning up somebody else's mess. You know, say your boyfriend or girlfriend doesn't trust you completely because of their past relationship. Well, we're stuck cleaning up that mess because here we are trying to be the good person, but yet they're still thinking that we're horrible, even though they're with us, and because of a past relationship. So that means we're cleaning up somebody else's mess. We're having to prove to your significant other that you are worthy of their relationship and their love. Ah, amore. We're not going to talk about big pizza pie. If you know, you know. But excited is beyond words with everything that's happening. Like I said, we're about to get more chickens. We're going to get 10 more Easter eggers soon. Um, Probably within the next 2 weeks, they should be ready. We're incubating eggs right now. Hopefully, they're going to come out. We're not 100% sure yet. We're not 100% sure we've got fertilized eggs. Let's put it that way. Anybody asking any questions? If not, that's fine. But we do talk movies, comic books, life situations. We just avoid two topics here, and I will not explain what those two topics are, just because those two topics drive everybody crazy and people start losing their minds. But that's okay. I lost mine a long time ago. Bum bum bum. What is going to happen today? Hmm. Today, I'm going to be doing some more painting on David over here. I got his eyeballs in. I'm getting ready to add some glow to them so that they glow in the dark and look cool under black light. Um, and then once that's done, once I get the painting going on more on that, I will be transitioning to the homestead side of things, which takes up the majority of the day. Artwork goes from the time basically I wake up, which today was a little bit later. I did sleep a little bit later. Well, I woke up, but then I fell back to sleep. That's why I'm coming on a little bit later for you guys. Um, and so with that, I will be painting as much as possible until feed time, which is about 7:30, almost 8 o'clock now. Um, and I let them out to free range. We free range our chickens, and the goats go to their separate pens. They don't like it, especially Finn, the male goat. He does not like being separated from his woe man, um, and I understand that. You know, they're in love, the amore time, and he's getting angsty just because he hasn't had some for a little while. He's a little angry boy. He is ramming everything now, and he's turning into a battering ram instead of a gentle goat that we had. Uh, and he's just super angry just because, like I said, he hasn't been laid in a while, and people can relate to that. If you haven't been laid in a while, you get a little angry and a little angsty. But some people are fine with it not happening. Um, and in the animal world, that's not the way it goes. They want to have it on a regular basis, and they want to have it on their terms. But he's just going to have to wait a little bit longer. I think we have to wait 6 weeks. I think it is. I don't think it's. I think it's 6 to 8 weeks, which sucks because that's 2 months. You know, we're already a month in as of today. The little boys, this is their birthday, their little twin birthday. Oh, excuse me. They are 1 month old today. As well, not yet, because 9:48 in the morning is when they will be 1 month old, and um, they're just fun little guys. They're cute. They're jumping around, bouncing around all over the place. Little baby goats, little Nigerian dwarves. So they only get so big, and but they're just cute little One is sold off already. We're pretty sure. We haven't talked to the person in a little bit that wants it. And then the other one will stay with us. It will get banded and stay with the flock, um, and give Dad something to headbutt, you know, because he's already trying to headbutt a little bit. But he's a little cuddle bug. He likes to crawl up in your lap and just put his head up against you and just cuddle with you. So he's a cute little guy. Hopefully he stays that way, but I doubt it. Once he gets a little older, he'll probably take over the traits of the parents, which is avoid, avoid. Well, Dad will come up to you, but he wants to headbutt you or try to gore you with his horns as well, just because he's angry right now. Before they were separated, he was okay. Um, before she had the babies, but all that good stuff. We're gonna talk my comic book. We're gonna talk the other exciting news once I start getting the information from Mr. Ben Dunn. Yes, name drop right here. Mr. Ben Dunn from Antarctic Press, which is a comic book uh, company out there, and they do manga style artwork, uh, anime style artwork. So if you're into that, go check out Antarctic Press. Um, I will be doing reviews on their comic books, their classics, and their upcoming comic books. So that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'm just waiting for the PDFs to come through for that. Um, he's also going to promote my YouTube, which is 412 Art Productions on YouTube, which has the same logo that you're seeing everywhere behind me, the 412 Productions, Art of Monty Anderson. And it also has my alarm clock there as well, because that is what 412 stands for. It's not a scripture, it is not a verse somewhere out there in any kind of religious Bible or anything like that. 412 is a time. That is the time I used to wake up on a regular basis. Um, at 4:12 in the morning, 4:12 a.m. Some people don't even know that exists. Some people don't even know there's two of those in the day, 4:12s, but there's one a.m. and one p.m. And so I used to wake up at 4:12 in the morning on a regular basis. And there was one day I picked up my phone, looked at it, groggy eyed, of course. Oh, 4:12, put it back down. Tried to go back to sleep, and all of a sudden, the light hit my eyes like a big pizza pie. That's the more. No, just kidding. And Productions came across my vision as I was laying there on my back, my eyes closed. Boom! Productions hit my eyes, hit my vision, just in my head. And like this light coming from the heavens. And it was like, Productions? What the f is Productions? And I'm like, and then I put 412 in front of it, and I was like, 412 Productions. That's pretty catchy. And so that's when it was born. And that was about 6 years ago, roughly, 5 or 6 years ago. And I just never did anything with it. I just put it on the back burner, and it was just like, well, if I ever do something, I'll look back at it. Well, I never looked back at it, and it was always in my head. And then the end of 2024 was when I decided to. And it was during the last two shows that I decided to actually, actually get and change things for my company, because I felt like everything had stagnated. Everything was just like sitting still, um, just festering. And so it was like, well, maybe it's time to break this out of mothballs, which is, hello, how's it going out there? I see you. I see you. I see you. Which means you see me and hear me. Oh my gosh. I'm embarrassed. No, I'm kidding. But welcome to the show, everybody. Seriously. I do appreciate each and everybody stopping in and checking out the channel, because we do try to have fun here. We do talk about comic books, movies, life situations. We just don't talk about two items here. And if you can't figure out what those two items are, please do, because I don't want to explain. No, just kidding. If you need an explanation on those two items that I do not talk about here, we can talk about that, but not very long. And so 412 Productions came into existence on January 1st, 2025, just because it was time to break out of my own mold that I had put myself in, my own box that I had put myself in. And I also wanted to take away any negativity or condescending talk about my old business if there was any. And I just felt like that's what was happening. And um and with that it was just like a fresh start, a fresh beginning, and things have already started out with a bang. I mean, January, like I said, was better sales than I've ever had with my business. February's looking up too, which is almost over. We got a couple more days in February, one more day in February after today, and then we've also got March is coming up, and I look forward to all this because my voice is going to be used in a movie for a voiceover role for a Power Rangers fan film, so that's awesome. Also going to have more artwork produced. I've got another commission on the table besides this one. Um, and commissions are rolling in. So if you need some artwork done, hit me up. You can go check out my stuff, just a sample, right up here. You can go to my profile page, and you can go to my links that are in there. You will find my website link in there, my Canva site, and then you go from there, and you'll see my 412 Productions, the Art of Monty Anderson logo, and underneath that you will find all of my socials. You will find my Facebook, you will find my Instagram, you'll find my TikTok, and you'll find my YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel is where I will be promoting I'll be promoting it here as well, but the YouTube channel will be what will be presented to the world from Mr. Ben Dunn for the Antarctic Press um, articles that I will be reviewing online for that. So please be on the lookout for that. We will be talking more comic books and reviewing his comic books with a real world review. Um, just because he wants real, he doesn't want um, fake news, if you will. He wants complete realness. What the? And then he gives a cold and an angry face. Okay. All right, cool. Good job, Ralph. I don't know what you're talking about, but we talk comic books here, Ralph. We talk movies. We talk real life stuff. But thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting. We appreciate you 100%. And so, artwork is my passion, my hobby. It's not really a hobby because it's my business. It's my business out here. Is my artworks. So, but you can go check those out on my website. You will get a sampling of more recent works. I do have 3 full portfolios of artwork ready for your home, not mine. Please take them off my hands. Hit me up if you're interested. I can show you what I've got when it comes to the artwork world. And one of these days, I'll probably flip through one of the books. It might be on the next show, which will be the first, which will be March 1st. I'll probably do that. I'll break out my portfolios and we'll flip through those and see if there's anything you're interested in, anything you want to take home with yourself, and we'll go from there. Um, but I do seriously need to change up my headphones because these suck. I hate these in-ear headphones. Um, Even though they're Apple in-ear headphones, they suck royally. So I need to get my over-the-head earphones, and maybe I'll look on the TikTok shop for some of those. Just like my get up over here, my little sound card, my live sound card. But life is fun. Life is exciting at this point in time, and I I'm having fun with life. I'm sore. I'm completely sore because for the past 2 days I've been clearing out the back 50 feet of my property, and so I call it the back 50. And it is a lot of back-breaking work. They left a lot of garbage back there for me, but I'm clearing out the trees right now so that I can get my garden space in, because gardening season is right around the corner. And then I'm also in the process of um, rebuilding a chicken coop for the chickens, make it bigger for the accommodations for the more chickens that we're going to have. And yeah, it's just exciting times with our property here for the homestead. We homestead, we do artwork. We also have mechanics going on. The girlfriend likes to tinker with mechanical things, motorcycles, small engines, things like that. We also, work on her car, work on my truck. So we're very mechanically inclined, and also, you know, backwoods, if you will. But we just like to have some fun. We like to live life to the fullest. She has a full time job. My full time job is sitting here with you people. No, I'm just kidding. My full time job is artwork, and yes, I'm a disabled veteran as well. So I don't take crap off nobody because I like to have fun. But yeah, but we talk movies here, we talk artwork, and we talk life, life, life. But we will be getting into a lot of comic books, and like I said, on the first, we will break into my portfolio of works, and we will show them off to you. Um, I've got to get back into cataloging my comic books over here. I've got a whole box that I still haven't even touched yet. I've got to get bags and boards and things like that so I can protect the comic book investment that is here. Um, Over 5,000 comic books sitting at my right hand side, and that's a lot. And like I told the girlfriend, if anything ever happened to this house, like if the house burnt down or whatever, and the comic books went with it, I wouldn't be buying comic books again. That would be my last straw. Um, just because I've already got, this is my second collection to get. Um, because my first collection I sold off for a house I no longer live in, and a girl I am no longer married to, which was a mistake on my part to sell the comic books. I should have kept them, but that was how we got the down payment for the house that I was living in, but no longer. Because I was about 65 to 70 issues away from having the complete Uncanny X-Men run of 1963 to when they ended in 2002, and I kick myself almost every day because of my stupidity, if you will. It was my own fault. I should have, found a different way to get the money for the down payment of the house, but that was the only way we could do it at the time. And it sucked. It hurt. It was painful to watch them go, and I wouldn't do it again. And I'm glad I don't have to do it again. But on the same token, if something were to happen to them, I wouldn't buy comic books again. I would just talk about them, because there's other ways you can facilitate your comic book desires. And that is, most places have online PDFs of their comic books that you can read for a subscription price. But for me, if I'm getting a subscription to a comic book, I'm going to have the physical copy. I'm not just going to have a PDF, an electronic version of it. I mean, yes, it's a great way to store your collection. And if anything were to happen to your collection, you still have your collection. But it's not the same. You don't get that smell of that vintage comic book. You don't get the smell of the new comic book. It's just like walking into a bookstore. You get that old musty book smell, and it's just that nostalgic feeling. A lot of people are like, "That's gross. I'd rather smell the coffee in the bookstore." And it's just like, yeah, see, that's not why you go to the bookstore. You go to the bookstore to look at books, old, dusty, crusty books, and um, but I know to each their own. Everybody has their own personal reasons for why they go to different stores, and mine is like to a comic book store or to a bookstore or things like that. It's for the nostalgic feel, especially the older comic books, and it's just like there's that certain smell of a comic book. There's a certain smell of a bookstore, that you walk into, and you just know it's just like, oh yeah, you got some good books in here, and it's not all new stuff. And it's just, if you don't know, you don't know. And go into an old bookstore. Go find you a bookstore in your town and just walk through it. You'll hit that smell. And some people are like, oh, that's a nasty smell. No, it's a beautiful smell. It's just like my glitter that I put on when I go out and chop down a tree or woodwork. You get that sawdust all over you. That's man glitter right there. And Mr. Roy would say, "No, I sparkle in the sun because I like Twilight. I'm a vampire." I hate Twilight. Just say. I don't even know, Roy, if you're still bouncing around out there. I know you're a proponent, a activist for Twilight, and I I'm sorry. Twilight was never my gig. My kids drug me to that movie when it first came out, and I didn't know much about it, but from opening scene to rolling credits, I was pretty much making fun of that movie the entire time I was at the theater with them. They hated it. They enjoyed the movie themselves, but I did not. Especially whenever, why don't you come into the sunlight? Well, here, let me show you. Oh, oh my gosh, your skin sparkles like diamonds. This is why we don't come into the sun. No, you burst into flame, motherfucker. It's a vampire. You don't sparkle. What the hell? And, so, and like the girlfriend was rewatching Twilight, and I made fun of the whole baseball scene whenever they were protecting Bella from the rival vampires, and just the so she was rolling laughing, and I was too. But it's it the it, I just can't stand Twilight. I mean, I'm sorry, I just can't. No matter what form fashion it is in. I know you had your team Edwards and your team Jacobs and all that crap, but it was that is not a vampire movie. I'm sorry. Um, I don't even know what that was besides an atrocity. So there's your movie talk for today. Twilight yet again. But to each their own. I know there's a lot of people that love Twilight and are anticipating this new book coming out by her, by the author, and then it will be turned into a new movie or TV series or something. I don't know what it's going to happen to it, but I just can't stand it. I know she's a Christian writer. Uh, I want to say Mormon. I could be wrong on that, um, but I know that's why her stuff is more PG, if you will. Parental guidance suggested. Breaking open my brewski again. Oh yeah. Oh, that alcohol flowing through your system. Oh, there is no alcohol in V8 energy drinks. There is no harmful. I mean, I'm sure there's harmful shit in there, but it's not like your Monsters, not like your Red Bulls. It's not like your Bangs and Ghosts and all that crap. This is a healthier option for you, and it does not give you that sugar rush or sugar high that leaves you low in about 30 minutes. So, V8 energy drink, you need to be my sponsor. Just like Brisk with their fruit punch and their lemonade. I do not do their tea. I do not like tea. I do not like coffee or espresso either. Um, I have drinking a cappuccino periodically, but that's been a long, long time ago. Yeah, but life is getting exciting. I am looking forward to all these build projects that are happening. Um, Doing it right this time because we used a kid's playhouse as our chicken coop. And so you basically have to crawl into this thing because it's built for children. It's built for a toddler. But it was free. I got it, and we turned it into a chicken coop. And now, with that being said and done, we have to rework everything, which is fine. That's the joys of getting more birds, more chickens here at the homestead. And so, um, once all that's said and done, we're going to be tearing everything down and rebuilding their coop. And hopefully, I can get that done quickly, just because I don't want them to be, you know, uh, displaced and freaked out. I mean, they're going to be freaked out anyway, just because it's new piece of property for them to play on. Um, but at the same token, you want them to be comfortable with their surroundings. So so I've got to get it built relatively quickly, but I've also got to get gravel brought in. I've got to get sand brought in, just so I can elevate their platform of their flooring. Just because I don't want them to have the same problem in the coop that they're in now, which has a ton of water standing, basically not standing, but it's a muddy mess in there. Just because of our situation, we're on a slight hill, so that means the neighbor's yard empties into our yard when it rains and snows and all that stuff, and then my yard empties into my neighbor's yard, and then their yard empties into a slight small creek right next to them, a little runoff area. So the back 50 is relatively flat and smooth for the most part, and so it's going to be easier to elevate the surface to get the chickens off of the ground in their flooring section. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's just a lot of work, and but that's life. For things that you want in life, it's a lot of work to make them, come to life. And so, if you want something, work hard for it. Unless your parents are millionaires, and then it's handed to you. Unfortunately, my parents are not, and so I've had to work for everything I've gotten in life, which is heartbreak and misery. No, I'm kidding. There. I mean, there has been heartbreak and misery and things like that throughout my life, because if you don't know my story, it's been told on countless lives, and um, it there is a lot of heartbreak in my story. So if you ever want to listen, you can go find one of those, and we'll probably be talking about them in June, uh, depending on the day. So, because there was a 3 year stretch in there of nothing but tragedy, uh, from 2008 to 2010 in our family, and me personally. So there's lots of tragedies. So you just roll with it and you go with it, and the pain never goes away. You just deal with it differently. But I think in my own house, I only have, and it's only to store them, a few pieces of my own artwork hanging up in my own house. I don't adorn my house with my artwork. Not that I don't like my own artwork, it's just that I like to adorn my walls with other people's artwork, because I support my fellow artists out there. And it's because I enjoy seeing other people's artwork more than my own. And so I adorn my own walls with other people's artwork. Now, in my own office, I only have three pieces of my own artwork hanging up in here. And that's because I didn't know what I was going to do with one of them. Sad, isn't it? I got it autographed by Dr. Britt Baker, wrestler of the ECW. A very prolific wrestler, very bloody wrestler. She is an actual doctor. She is a dentist, and she was a cool person to talk to. And she loved my piece. It's sitting right here on my left on my wall. It's blinged out, and her handler that was sitting over there, and she saw the piece. She was like, "Holy shit! Did you see this?" And she showed him. She said, "Can I get a picture of this?" And I said, "You do what you want to do. It's you on paper." And she took a big picture of it, and a few pictures of it actually. And we got a picture together, her holding it up, all that good good stuff after she had signed it, and it was pretty cool. So I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I didn't know if I was going to sell it or if I was going to hang on to it. I haven't even signed it myself yet. So there is that. And then my other artwork piece is my first comic book cover, which was William Russell's Psycho Sal #3. Yeah, I did an homage to the X Files, one of my greatest shows ever. And since he had a female and a male FBI characters chasing down this serial killer in 1980s New Orleans, I did an homage to the X Files, and they're in a voodoo shop looking for this serial killer. And then my other piece is actually this piece right here, which is hanging up the black and white that I drew up for this, for my logo, which you see right there behind me. Dun, dun, dun. And for those of you right there, right here, on Facebook and YouTube, right there, I drew this up and it's sitting on my wall just because I love aliens, I love cryptids, I love all that good stuff because they're real. Those of you that don't think they're real, I'm sorry. Bigfoots are real, Nessie's real, aliens are real, UFOs are real, and they're not government. Conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories. Ah. But yeah, no, I have seen too many things, including Bigfoots, UFOs. I live in a haunted house, so that's always exciting with the poltergeist activity that happens here, and stuff that can't be explained. Even though you try to explain them and rationalize them as an adult human being that has a rational mind, and you try to rationalize all these events that happen around you, but you can't. But no, I have a lot of cool stuff that happens around here on a regular basis. The first 2 nights I lived in this house, I thought somebody was trying to break in one or either of my doors. Very first night, it was the front door. I thought somebody was trying to break into. You just hear this loud thud push on the front door. The second night, same thing, but on the side door, which is right outside my office window. And then you get the poltergeist activities of things flying off shelves, rocks being thrown across the room. You get action figures that seemingly flip upside down, and land in between two other figures, which physically cannot happen because they're sitting on top of that figure. And if that figure were to fall off the other figure, it's going to fall off of that figure, not flip upside down, put its top of its card in between the two other figures. And so, things like that. You get all kinds of stuff here. I've seen shadow figures. I've seen full apparitions out in my backyard. Um, and no, there was nobody there. I have cameras all around my house, and so I get a lot of cool stuff. I've gotten EVPs in my office right here. A lot of people get a strange, uneasy feeling in certain parts of the house. They don't like to come into my office. They don't like to go to the garage, and they don't like it in the library area. But that's okay. I do. No, it's fun. I mean, it's exciting to not know what's going to happen next in your own house when it comes to paranormal activity. Yes, I've caught orbs right here in this very room. While I had the laminate box from Hellraiser, the puzzle box, and I was talking about it and had it in hand, showing what it could do. It's just a simple little pull apart, flip back around, and it has a different configuration. It's not one of those that's like a Rubik's Cube that completely you can do all kinds of cool stuff with it, or the little piece pops up. Those things cost a lot of money. This one was cheap. And it just looks cool as a prop piece sitting in the front room now. I was talking about it in here, and next thing I know, I had my baseball cap was on, and you see this orb fly from the right hand side and come down and go right into my hat. And I saw it live happen. I didn't see it out here. I saw it on on camera. And I stopped and I was like, what the hell just happened? I said, I just pretty sure I saw an orb. And sure enough, went back and rolled back the video footage and copied that little bit of video footage. And I've got it out there on my Facebook page in the video forms. And it's a little whiles back, but it's there. You can see it plain as day. And I even showed some paranormal people at a comic book convention that I was at. I think it was the Paragould show. Thank you, Santiago Cirillo. If you don't know who Santi is, don't know who Santiago Cirillo is, he's a pretty cool dude. He was uh, Julio in The Walking Dead. He is an actor, and he's got a lot of movies under his belt right now. He also does a lot of good things for mental health awareness with his High on Nation um, show. It's getting ready to happen in June or July in Paragould, Arkansas. I will not be attending this year just because I'm not doing any comic book conventions this year with the rebuild of my brand, of my new business name. I am getting new prints made up, so I'm going to put a poll out there. What prints should I make from my original artworks that I've got right now on Facebook? And we'll go from there. I'm also going to be doing canvas prints, so you'll have something a little bit more substantial than just a piece of paper that you can hang on your wall in a frame. You can have an actual framed piece of my artwork in print form if you don't want to pay for the original. So, um, with that, that's how it's going to be this year. Just new merchandise. Um, I've got those covered, or I'd pick them up. I'm working on saw blades, your circular saw blades. I've got two pieces done on that. I've got Billy the Puppet from Saw on a saw blade, an actual metal saw blade, and it comes with a base, or one is made into a clock. I have those two available. The base says, "I want to play a game" on it, and it looks pretty cool because it sits at the top. You can put your phone on it, you can put your keys on it, you can do whatever you want to do with it as a display piece. So it is an interactive display piece. If you need to use the saw as a weapon to protect your life, you have that option. Hopefully you don't, but you do have that option. The other one is Art the Clown, and it says "The Art of Art" on it with blood splatter everywhere on the base. I did two of those. One sold quickly. Um, the other one was supposed to have already been sold, and I'm waiting on the person to actually buy it. But if somebody wants to buy it before them, fair game. Uh, it was supposed to have already been bought at the end of January, but here we are. Or no, it's supposed to be bought here at the end of February, but here we are in the end of February, and it's still in my hands. So if you're interested in that, you can actually see it up here in my artwork. Ooh, I'll back this up right here. It's up there in the top um, right hand corner of the screen as you're looking at the screen, right by Wolverine and above Chester Bennington. And so there you have that. So, but it is a great time around here. It is a busy time as spring is right around the corner, and I've got to get plants in my pre-plant section to get them started so I can get them transported and transplanted out into the yard, into their garden spaces. Now, I will be changing up garden spaces um, for everything just because I am going to be putting my garden space in the back 50. So that means I'm going to have about a 50-foot by 50-foot garden space area. So I've got to map that out because certain vegetables and fruits don't like to be housed next to each other. So, um, so I've got to plan accordingly. You don't want plants that are going to kill each other off. So there's a rule of thumb for all that, and I've got to dig it back up so I can make sure everything is coherent with each other, as well as putting flowers out there for the pollinators, the bees, other pollinators, and things like that that help your plants grow better, and also fertilize your plants whenever they take the pollen from this plant to the pollen to this plant and make and intermingle them together. Yeah, all that good stuff. But if you're not a gardener, I understand you don't get it. Uh, you just like the pretty flowers. and you like to eat the vegetables. I get it. I like to grow them and eat them, and then sell them. We're gonna build a kiosk up front as well, to house all of this vegetables, the eggs that we're going to be producing here pretty soon from all these new chickens, and hopefully, it's already a lucrative business. The eggs we've been selling left and right. I can't keep them in the house. Don't even have any eggs for myself. Even though I'm an egg producer, I don't have any eggs for myself because I'm selling them all. And they're a lot fresher. They're a lot better for you than what you buy in the store, especially off of free range eggs. The yolk is a lot brighter on the inside. It's a lot more golden, and so that's very cool. And uh, I was just listening. Sorry, I thought maybe the pig was already up. She should be up by now. It's getting close to 6 o'clock for her, and she's usually up by now. She's changed her sleeping habits for whatever reason. Nope, don't hear it yet. So, but we look forward to all this because I opening up this back 50 feet of ground is pretty exciting. Um, just because it's giving me a whole new possibility of growing garden, having a much bigger garden space than just what I was having. Because I had two raised bed garden sections in the back, and then in ground sections, which I'm just going to turn back into just regular ground for the chickens, and then I've got to move my berry plants so that the chickens don't eat all my berries and the goats don't eat all my berries. So I've got blueberries, blackberries, and strawberries in one container, and they were doing really good until Flora jumped the fence and started eating my berry plants. And so I'm hoping they're coming back. They ate my my grape plants, my grapevines that I had. Oh wow, you're a little bit late to the game there, TikTok. But thank you for the puzzle piece that I have to drag across the screen. I don't know why it does that. I really don't. I guess it makes it so that it shows that you're still alive. I don't know. I mean, I'm still on my live show, folks. Come on, TikTok, get with the program. Get with the program. But no, life is exciting. Life is fun from the artwork aspect of it to, and in reality, it's all artwork. Um, Not just physical artwork on a canvas or on paper, but it's also physical artwork when it comes to the rebuild of a chicken coop, the rebuild of a fence, the taking down of a tree. There's an artwork to that. The planting of plants and the redoing of a garden space. There's an artwork and a technique in that. So everything is an artwork. Everything that you choreograph in life is an artwork. The dance you do with your partner is a artwork. Um, be it telling them the truth or lying to them, it's an artwork. And hopefully you're not lying to your partner, but if you do, I feel for you. And hopefully the lies don't come out, you know? So, but uh, everything that you do in life is an artwork, is a technique. The business that you're in, the company that you work for, all is an artwork. All is a dance that you do uh, with the other. And so I like the artwork that I do that I'm creating here in my home little homestead. And it's just, you know, one little thing after another. And I look forward to each and every day when I wake up because it's a new gift given to do some new artwork on a regular basis. So wake up, get out there, do some new artwork, and live your life according to you because that's the only person you can please. You can only please yourself. You can't please everybody else. As I've seen on this show, 100%. Um, because you get people asking crazy questions on here like, who are you and what do you do? And why am I listening to you? Well, I don't know why you popped on my live show and started asking me these stupid questions, but, congratulations. Welcome to my show where I can talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about, and I will. And it involves comic books, homesteading, gardening, animals, you know, life in general. And as I end my show, I'm going to say that if you are feeling depressed, anxious, um, suicidal, anything of like that, call 988, which is Suicide Prevention Hotline, or hit me up in my DMs. And I'm being serious. If you want to talk to me because you're depressed, you're angry, you're whatever, I will listen. Um, because I've been in that situation where I was uh, depressed and angry, and just not the nicest of people, just because of circumstances that happened to me, especially back in 2009. 2008 through 2010 was the worst years of my life. And, you know, I needed someone to talk to at those point in times. And it's just like if you need somebody to talk to, seriously hit me up. I will listen to whatever you have to say. But anyway, as I leave you here today, as I like to say, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.